This month we have Pluto, planet of transformation and regeneration, turning to retrograde motion. And we have Jupiter, planet of abundance, prosperity, expansion, and blessings, moving into air sign Gemini. All of this, an empowered moment and more in my new intuitive energy forecast for May 2024. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from Sacred Soul Empowerment, and we're here to do the May 2024 energy forecast. For this month's energy reading, we're going to be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, it's going to be coming from a brand new deck that I have called Mystical Shaman Oracle Deck, and this is by Alberto Vallaldo, Colette Barron-Reed, and Marcela Lobos. So before we get into looking at those stones of choice or talking about the energy for the month of May, let's go ahead, close our eyes, and settle in to do an empowered moment. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, relax your body and clear your mind of all thoughts. Focus on your breathing as you breathe in and out. And allow your mind to focus in on the idea that this month of May is the month after the eclipses that we just had, including that new moon total solar eclipse, and the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. Very powerful energies that happened in April, and now that the energies are settling, we're getting ready to see what transformations will unfold as a result of those energies. Especially in this month of May, we start out early on in the month with Pluto, planet of death and rebirth, transformation and regeneration, coming to a standstill and turning to retrograde motion. And as Pluto slows down his movement and gets ready to shift, it's going to intensify and magnify all of the energies that Pluto rules. This idea of transforming ourselves, rebirthing ourselves, transmuting old stories, diving down deep into the areas of our subconscious and unconscious to release and let go of what we no longer need, the old fears, the old anxieties, the doubts. Pluto is going to bring things up and out so that they can be transformed, transmuted, so that we can regenerate and rise like the phoenix born anew. So visualize yourself with phoenix wings. Visualize yourself as the phoenix, transforming yourself from an old version of you into a newer, better, more spiritually inclined version of you, with more strengths and more willpower, more confidence, more courage, allowing your gifts to emerge. See that clearly in your mind. See your gifts, talents, and abilities as the sacred soul that you are, showing themselves, coming up to the surface, and being expressed out into the world. Breathe in deeply to that intention, breathing it into every cell of your body. As you exhale, seeing your phoenix wings emerge, seeing yourself rise into your truth and into your personal power. And as you take one more deep cleansing breath, and when you feel ready, you can open your eyes, returning to this time and place and space, and getting ready to look at our stones of choice for that special message card a little bit later. So because we have Pluto turning retrograde, and he's all about transformation and diving down deep into the subconscious, and we're about to talk about the numerology vibration of May, which actually vibrates to a karmic number 13, which is also about death and rebirth. I decided to choose stones, or I was guided to choose stones that have some sort of messages or mystery, or some sort of information kind of, to me, embedded in the stone. And the first stone I was drawn to this is called Kambaba Jasper. So the Kambaba Jasper, you can see all these like little swirly lines on here. They're even on the back side. And I have like a 1-sentence description for each of these stones. We're not going to go really deep into lots of energies of each stone, but the Kambaba Jasper, if you choose it, this is about your connection to Earth Mother Gaia, your ancestors, to all living things, past, present, and future. The second stone of choice, one of my favorites, this is lapis lazuli. You can see that this wonderful deep dark blue, and you've got like this gold flecks within the lapis lazuli, both on the back side and the front side. And this one is going to be our connection to the spiritual realm, including our inner vision, intuition, and enlightenment. And then our third stone of choice, this one is an interesting one. And this one is called onyx. Now, onyx doesn't typically look like this. There's actually a pattern that's been embedded in this onyx. You can see the backside of the onyx is just plain onyx like it usually is shown. But this one has this wonderful pattern that's kind of, it's not a natural pattern, but this is a pattern that somehow was embedded into this onyx stone. And for this one, it's going to be our connection to the mysteries of life and strength, determination, and perseverance. So again, our stones of choice for that special message card, the Kambaba Jasper, connection to the earth and all living things, past, present, future. We've got lapis lazuli, and our connection to the spiritual realm and our vision, intuition, and enlightenment. And then the last stone of choice was the onyx, and the onyx is our connection to the mysteries of life, strength, determination, perseverance. So while you think about that, let's talk about the energy vibration of the month of May. So the month of May, we know it's the 5th month of the year, right? It's always the 5th month, but the year 2024 vibrates to an 8 universal year, because when we add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4, it equals an 8. And the 8 is all about empowerment. And, it is about, to me, evolution and karmic rebalancing of the scales from other lifetimes as well as this lifetime. It can relate to career and money and finances and business, but on that higher level, it's all about the empowerment of our soul. Now, we take that 8 universal year, we add it to May, the 5th month, and we get 13. And 13 is one of the 4 karmic numbers in numerology. And the 13 in numerology deals with death and rebirth and transformation and regeneration, just like Pluto, which is going to start out this month by turning retrograde at 2 degrees of Aquarius on the 2nd of May. But when we look at even the 13th major arcana card in the tarot to get more of an idea of the numerology energies of May, right? Death, rebirth, transformation, regeneration, rebirth, transmutation. elimination of the old so that there can be a renewal. And the 13th major arcana is the Death card. In the Syrian Starseed Tarot, it is transition. It's called transition, which is so much more than, just looking at it in the old school way of it being the Death card. And the Death card is metaphoric for death and rebirth and transformation and change. Here we have this idea of transition. We are transitioning from, what we were once before as a third dimensional, more conservative energy human being, and we're moving into these higher dimensions, 5th dimension, 6th, 7th, 8th, and so on, right? We're going through this huge evolution and growth, this huge transition. Now, the Death card, or this transition card, it's about internal transformation and change. Sometimes it can relate to outer, external situations and circumstances that are going through a transformation and change, but this is really focusing in on the idea of an inner, personal transformation and change. It's really internal. We're going through this shift. We're going through this releasing of old layers of energy that we no longer need, just like a snake shedding its skin. The snake is a great metaphor or animal totem for karmic number 13. So this is the card from the tarot, and this is the number 13, karmic number 13, that goes along with this Pluto energy that we're going to talk about here in just a second again, that really kind of brings it all together to start out this month of May. So very powerful energies. Right? Very powerful energies of moving through this inner evolution and growth. So let's start out and look at the very first thing of importance that happens, astrologically speaking, in the month of May is on, again, May 2nd. And this is Pluto, planet of death and rebirth, turning to retrograde motion at 2 degrees of Aquarius. Now, Pluto moves very, very slowly. It only moves a degree to 2 degrees in a year by the time it retrogrades for several months and then turns back to direct motion. So he's not moving very fast. But recently, he's gone into the sign of Aquarius, right? He went into Aquarius, he dipped back out into Capricorn. Went into Aquarius. This fall, he's going to dip back into the last degree of Capricorn. And then finally, he's going to move back into Aquarius as we move into 2025 and stay there for a really long time. So Pluto is bringing in this whole new energy of transformation on an Aquarian level rather than a Capricornian level. Capricorn deals with our third dimensional patriarchal system and banking and people that are in power and control. And, it's all about the career and our purpose in this world, in this third dimensional world. But we move into Aquarius now with Pluto, and Aquarius is all about the future. It's about our future aspirations, our hopes and dreams and wishes. It's about coming together with people of like mind that hold a similar humanitarian ideal or vision for what we can accomplish for the collective of humanity or for the earth herself. And so with it being in the early degrees, and it's going to be retrograde, like I said, until I think it's either October or November. And it's not until September that it moves back into Capricorn. So it's moving so slowly that this time period of it shifting to retrograde motion is one of the most powerful times. It's really intensifying and magnifying the energies of Pluto's death and rebirth, transformation and regeneration energies. And then again later in the year, when it does turn back to direct motion in the fall of 2024, it'll highlight again the intensity of Plutonian energies, but at that point it will be in Capricorn. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on a collective level as the old systems have been being broken down, or that we're discovering new truths about the patriarchal system and society that we've lived in, all these institutions that we've lived under. This is part of the biggest time in humanity for light workers and us as spiritual souls coming into our own gifts and doing our own healing and evolution and growth, and how it is that we have this domino effect on the collective. And the collective, and what happens on the collective level, has a domino effect on us. We're all intertwined and interwoven with these energies. So one other thing to point out, even though this happened the last day of April, is that Mars, the warrior planet, just moved into Aries. So again, that was right before the end of April. So we're moving into the 1st of May with Mars newly in Aries, first sign of the zodiac, and the sign of the zodiac that Mars rules. So Mars is ready to get up and go, because for a while now, for some weeks and all of April until that last day, he was in Pisces, and Mars wants to move forward fast, energy, action, forward movement, but he was in water sign Pisces, go with the flow, surrender, faith, trust. And so he wasn't at his strongest then. He was trying to push and move somewhere and not necessarily getting anywhere, kind of like spinning his wheels, because that Pisces, that water energy, that emotional energy was not his forte. But now he's in Aries, fire sign Aries. Mars is a fire planet. Mars rules Aries, first sign of the zodiac, so we're ready to move forward and take action on things that maybe we've kind of held off on, or we were waiting for more information while Mercury was retrograde in April. So we start out with a bang with Mars, and we start out with a bang with Pluto turning retrograde. And then the next thing of importance is the new moon at 18 degrees of Taurus, which is on the 7th of May. So we're done with eclipses for now, until the fall comes around, and we're going to have a couple of more eclipses. But right now we're settling the energies from the past eclipses that we had the end of March and the beginning of April. So new moons, this new moon at 18 degrees of Taurus, new moons are about new beginnings. Taurus is stable, secure, it's grounded, it's practical energy. It's about slowly moving forward with a plan. We're not moving fast, although Mars in Aries is moving fast, so there's an aspect of life that's moving fast, or an aspect of ourselves that's moving fast. But this new moon at 18 degrees of Taurus says, let's plant the seeds, let's water the seeds, let's nurture the seeds and watch them grow. So initially we're coming out of the gate with Mars and Aries and really putting our best foot forward fast and furious, and really like sending all these, energies and action ideas out there to the universe. But now with the new moon, we're going to patiently nurture those seeds and allow them to grow in their own divine timing. Okay, so that's the 7th with the new moon in Taurus. Then on the 15th of May, we have Mercury moving out of Aries, where it was retrograde in April, and moving into Taurus as well. Mercury rules thoughts, ideas, perceptions, communication, information, logic, and now it's moving into grounded, practical, cautious, slower moving Taurus, because Taurus wants to make sure that all the I's are crossed and all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed before haphazardly moving forward. And Mercury is going to be in Taurus until June 3rd. So again, we've got a lot of Taurus energy that's slowing us down and making us, cautious and patient and moving in a kind of a slow kind of trek forward. But Mars in Aries, is zinging with these actions at the same time. All right, and then we're going to skip ahead to the 20th of May, which is the sun moving into Gemini until June 20th. And the sun is how we shine our light, the lens through which we shine our light. Up until the 20th of May, it's in Taurus, shining its light through that patience, persistent, determined, grounded energy. Now it moves into Gemini for the last 10 days or whatnot of the month, right? And these last 10 days, now we're shifting our energy. The lens through which we shine our light is communication, networking, learning, teaching, sharing ideas, brainstorming ideas, all these kind of thoughts that are just kind of flooding in and coming in, and maybe multitasking and doing more than one thing at once. The pace is quickening now, right? The Taurus was very stable and slow, and now Gemini kind of picks up speed, and it's kind of a little rambunctious, and it's wearing lots of hats and doing lots of things. So we're going to feel that shift around the 20th. And then on the 23rd, we have a full moon at 2 degrees of Sagittarius, the opposite sign of Gemini. That means the sun will be in Gemini, the moon will be in Sagittarius at 2 degrees. And full moons are about completion. It's about releasing, endings, letting go. It's about, the healing process. What we're needing to let go is part of the healing, cleansing process. When the full moon is coming to fullness, though, up until that time that it's at its peak on the 23rd, things are growing, things are manifesting, intuition is heightening, emotional actions and reactions are magnifying. So there's, a lot of capability, I think, to send your vision, which to me is a very Sagittarian thing. It's like send your vision out into the world. Imagine your vision, see your vision, feel your vision, and send it on out there to the universe. Light a candle, do a ceremony, write a list. What's your vision, and how do you want to expand it? Another key word for Sagittarius, expansion. So how do you want to expand that out into the world? On the same day as that full moon, Venus moves out of Taurus and into Gemini and stays in Gemini until June 17th. So Venus is about love, relationships. She's about money, finances, personal resources. She's about values, self-value, and self-worth. So Venus is going to become a lot more social in Gemini, a lot more playful, a lot more objective and logical. When it comes to relationships and love, she can be a little bit more flirtatious and a little bit less committal. So she's non-committal in Gemini. She just wants to have fun. And in money and finances, again, there might be dual sources of income or a dual paths that we're walking to kind of bring in these various resources, whether the resources are monetary or some other type of blessing. Gemini is about 2 or more things going on. So again, personal resources can have a couple of different, paths or a couple different incoming streams associated with them. And then on the 25th, this is the other biggest thing that's happening in May, aside from Pluto turning retrograde. On the 25th of May, Jupiter, planet of expansion, planet that rules our belief systems, planet that rules abundance, prosperity, and blessings, who spends about 1 year in each sign of the zodiac, is now moving out of Taurus and moving into Gemini. So it's already spent its time in Taurus for the last year. Now it's moving into Gemini, and Jupiter likes to expand what it touches. So when it was in Taurus, it was expanding this need for patience. It was expanding this need to stay grounded and embodied in our physical body. Jupiter in Taurus might have been expanding ideas or the focus on money and finances because Taurus rules that. Jupiter and Taurus could have been expanding our need to value ourselves in situations, circumstances, and relationships because Taurus rules values and self-value. Now that it's going into Gemini for about the next year, it actually stays in Gemini until June of 2025, right? So this is a year. Jupiter's going to expand Gemini things, thoughts, ideas, networking, being social, communication, being fun, silly, being intellectual, learning, teaching, sharing ideas and information, brainstorming, anything that deals with teaching, speaking, writing, all forms of Gemini communication is what Jupiter is going to expand over the next year. So those are the highlights, astrologically speaking, regarding the month of May. And we did talk about the numerology already, and we showed you the tarot card, the death card. So now let's go ahead and look at the messages from our angels and guides for the month of May. So the first card is none other than, yes, it is Major Arcana 13, Transition, the death card. So what I did was I pulled the 3 cards in meditation before starting the video. This card was one of them, but it was also the card that highlights the energies, numerologically speaking, or relating to the tarot card, numerologically speaking, for the month of May. So we already know what this one is about, right? Major Arcana 13, death and rebirth, transformation and regeneration, this internal transition that we're all going through on an energetic level. And on a subconscious level, to me, the death card really kind of digs down deep into the psyche, into the subconscious, and really helps us to transform those old fear-based patterns, those old patterns of doubt and anxiety, whatever they might be related to, those fears, right? And we're coming out of this in a transformed way, just like the snake shedding its skin. We've got a new skin underneath. We're shedding the old patterns and the old ways of thinking, believing, perceiving, and there's something new that's already there underneath. We just have to step into it. There's also this, spiraling up into and evolving into higher dimensions, right? That's part of the shedding. We're shedding third dimensional concepts, the way we've operated on this planet. And we're going to be seeing that on a collective level and on a personal level as we spiral up and up and up and into our higher dimensional bodies, and as we activate cellular memory, and as we receive downloads. It's all this huge part of this transformation and growth process that we're going through, which is really, really exciting. So stay grounded. The base number of 13, if you add 1 plus 3, is a 4. So for the month of May, with that karmic number 13 vibration, and we didn't talk about the base number, the reduced digit of the 4, means we have to stay grounded, stay determined, stay persevering, stay in a place of patience, but do what you must to stay grounded, which is being out in nature or meditation or walking barefoot on the earth, communing with nature, maybe different essential oils that are grounding in nature, anything that you can do to stay grounded. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the card that come up second. Card number 2. Card number 2 is the Adept of Orbs. The Adept of Orbs, this is like the Knight of Swords. The orbs is the swords or air suit. The Adept is like the Knight. And Knights move really fast. Knights are the one of those younger court cards. It's not as young as the Page. The Page is kind of like childlike, new beginning, just stepping into something with curiosity. The Knights are more of that, if we were going to give it an age, 20s and 30s something, to where you have a lot of energy and motivation and vitality and you think you can conquer the world. And then we get to the more mature Queen and King. So the Adept of Orbs, the Knight of Swords, is like blazing a new trail with new ideas, new thoughts, new perceptions, and you can see here he's got this vision. He's holding this kind of vision in his hands. And that's part of the sword suit, is these ideas and these thoughts and brainstorming with other people and coming up with these new ideas to move forward with. I think this is part of, as we start to transition into Gemini, with the sun moving into Gemini, Venus moving into Gemini, Jupiter moving into Gemini from the 20th of May on. This is where I think we're going to be ramped up with these thought processes, with the logic, with the ideas, and again, maybe brainstorming. How do I want to move forward? What's my strategy? What's my plan? What do I want to do? And first thing we do is envision it, right? We envision what we desire, and then we take some sort of action. And the Knights are action oriented, so we're taking action on our ideas. So once the time is right that supports that, which I think again is from the 20th of May on forward, and going into June as well, as we're still in the Gemini energy in June. And of course, Jupiter's in Gemini for a year. So this is really going to help us to come up with these new plans and new strategies and new juicy ideas. And whether you're doing it on your own or collaborating with other people, Gemini is social. Gemini likes to network. So Gemini collaboration is definitely quite possible here. Let's see what came out as the last card. I love it. The Eight of Flames. So yes, the Eight of Flames is like the Eight of Fire, the Eight of Wands. This is fast movement. This is a lot of things happening at once. You see the circle of fire, you see the 8 wands or flames coming off of that. It's almost like a sun in a way, right? And the sun is vitality, and it's success in the career, and it's a lot of energy and action. In fact, the suit of flames or fire or wands is about action, and it's about creativity and creative expansion and about spirituality, connecting with spirit, connecting with your inner spiritual essence. And the number 8 in numerology is about empowerment. So here we are, in an 8 universal year that deals with spiritual empowerment, and we have the 8 of flames, and that coming after the adept of orbs. So we're taking these ideas, these plans, these thoughts, and we're really going to start putting them into motion. And this is about putting more than one thing into motion. This is like a lot of things happening all at once. This is usually so much is happening that it becomes a little bit chaotic and a little bit sometimes overwhelming. So make sure, again, to stay grounded, to ground yourself through this energy. Because the more grounded you are, the better able you're going to be able to wear all these different hats and multitask and take care of all these different things and follow up on all these different possibilities and potentials. But this has a really great feeling to it as far as energy movement is concerned. So the waiting, the patience, the surrendering, again, by the 20th of May, we're starting to really have some movement and being able to move forward. So let's go ahead and see what your special message card is, depending on your stone of choice. I think I covered everything. I guess I feel like there's more, but I guess I'm on track. So with this new deck, the Mystical Shaman, I chose Mystical Shaman Oracle. I've never used it before in a reading, because it has that association with Karmic Number 13. To me, Karmic Number 13 is a mystical, magical number. It was a sacred number to the ancients. And so I thought, well, that mystical, magical, sacred, energy for the ancients goes well with Mystical Shaman, the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And, I did shuffle and choose a card previous to starting the video for myself as a message, and I did look in the guidebook, and I thought, I was guided by Spirit rather than just reading the card intuitively on my own, which might happen somewhat anyway, but I was guided to actually read you a portion of the message from the guidebook itself, because the guidebook has a very powerful message associated with each of these cards, one that I might not be able to verbalize in the eloquent way that the book does. So that's what I'm going to do this time. Again, I don't think I've ever done that before, but this is what we're going to do. So the first stone of choice was the Kambaba Jasper. So let's give this a little shuffle. Taking a deep breath. We're asking for the special message card for the Kambaba Jasper people. Kambaba Jasper. And this one calling my attention. Ooh, thunder. I like this message. And, just thinking about the essence of thunder, there's something rumbling in the distance. There's a rumbling in the background, right? Is that rumbling a new you, or is the rumbling a new idea that wants to come forward and come out? It's powerful, right? Thunder is a powerful energy when it happens. When we hear the thunder, we think, ooh, the thunder, it's mystical, it's magical, it's powerful energy. Now, It almost looks like a full moon, but we also have like this other planet. So I don't know if there's some planetary thing associated with it. You might want to think about getting an astrological reading or something during the month and see what astrology is happening with your chart in mind. Or maybe this is dealing with a full moon, that full moon in Sagittarius that happens on the 23rd. Maybe there's something significant with that. But let's go ahead and I'm going to read to you the little portion of thunder here. And they made it so nice because they put it all in alphabetical order, so I can just very quickly go to thunder here. And I'm going to try to hold the card up while I'm reading. So thunder, and it says, when thunder comes into your reading, it refers to a big dramatic change that feels like a herd of wild bison on the run. You feel it right through your bones, and you know that you are powerless to influence whatever events have been set into motion. This is a time to be prepared for anything. Your life is an adventure, and wonderful opportunities are arriving now. The trick is to learn to run with them. Qualities that you'll need now more than ever are flexibility, dexterity, and a willingness to experience it all without dictating from where or in what form opportunities will come. Your destiny is arriving. Be ready. So see how powerful that message was? I love it. All right, so the second stone of choice was the lapis lazuli. So lapis lazuli, special message for the month of May. For lapis lazuli people. Lapis lazuli people. This one in the middle. Well, you know what? I feel like there's too many stuck together and it wouldn't come out when I tried to pull it, so that's not the one. Lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. Okay, this one is, we're going to get it out of there, the witness. So being a witness, right? Being a witness in your own life, that means to me being in the present moment and staying aware of yourself and your actions and your reactions in any particular situation and circumstance. Being the witness of how you and other people, the relationships in your life, whether they be romantic or business or friendship, how you're reflecting things back and forth to one another. To me, this is all about just really being kind of aware, being the witness to life. And here I feel like we've got a big sun back there because it looks like it's got gold and yellow light around it. So to me, this is the sun. Maybe this is the sun transitioning into Gemini on the 20th. So maybe something around that time of the transition from Taurus to Gemini energies makes you have a little bit more, mental awareness of something, circumstance, a situation going on in your life. And that would make sense because Gemini is a sign that deals with the logical mental realm. So let's go ahead and take a look at that special message in the book for witness. Uh-oh, I'm getting there. I thought I was. 64. Where is it? 62. 63. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. I thought, didn't they put witness in here? That would have been crazy. All right. So witness. It says, the witness that has been by your side all along is now ready to become your ally. You thought you were the doer, but today you discover that things happen when you get out of your own way. Witness creation unfolding before you. Change reality by finding stillness and letting your true intent reveal itself. Okay, so that's that message. And then the last stone of choice was that onyx. So special message for the month of May for onyx people. Special message for onyx. This one's calling my attention towards the back. It was sticking up. This one's called the child. So the first thing that pops into my mind is, looking at things with child's eyes, which is about innocence, right? Children are innocent and, they perceive so much before the adult world comes in and kind of erases all that spontaneity and creativity and intuition and laughter and fun. So I want to say, be like the child. Wake up every morning like with this feeling of what's under the Christmas tree. What's the universe going to give me today? Be curious about what's happening in your life. Be curious about new adventures unfolding in your life. Be innocent and like the child, and just have fun. Be playful. Don't forget to play. Don't get so bogged down with the serious details of everyday life that you forget to play and have fun. So this to me is part of what the child is about. We also have, I don't know if they all have planetary kind of things in it. No, they don't. But this one also has kind of like a lot of outlines of like planetary, like this could almost be like a moon cycle. So if we're talking about a moon cycle, we're talking about the new moon on the 7th of May until the new moon around the 7th of June. Or we're talking about a moon cycle from the full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd of May until the next full moon, which would be around again the 23rd of June, give or take. So pay attention to the moon cycles, new moon to new moon, about new beginnings and planting new seeds. Full moon to full moon, it's what is completing, what is ending, what's being released and let go, or what am I healing? Let's go ahead and take a look at the message for the child. Okay, I'll hold that up there. And it says, the child is here to release you from the habit of being yourself and to help you acquire a beginner's mind so that you can see life as if for the first time. Remain open to learning and discovery. What does that say? I don't know why it says who is your spouse, but that's what it says. Who is your spouse or partner today? Interesting. Can you deal with them with fresh eyes? Oh, I see. All right. Who is looking back at you in the mirror in the morning? Become a mystery unto yourself and reconnect with a sense of childlike wonder. So kind of what I was saying before, connecting with that childlike wonder and innocence and spontaneity and trust. So I hope you've all enjoyed this monthly energy forecast. I send you all lots of love and light and many, many blessings and expansion into these new Gemini blessings that's coming later in this month. And don't forget to watch the weekly intuitive energy forecast. I also do a weekly energy forecast if you're newly seeing this monthly forecast for the first time. So be sure to go onto my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma and watch that. Be sure to check out my services at sacredsoulempowerment.com. See what I have to offer and check out my meetup page. Go to meetup.com and look up Sacred Soul Empowerment, same name as my website, to find my meetup group, and you'll see all kinds of meditations or mini reading events or lectures, workshops, and classes that are offered through that meetup page. Sending again lots of love, light, and blessings to all of you, and namaste.